W-OLED versus QD OLED. Today with the LG 27GS95QE versus the MSI MPG QD OLED gaming monitors. I'll be covering many real-world scenes. While numbers don't lie, they don't paint the whole picture, the real-world picture. From your media content to your PC or console gaming, I have real-world scenes in HDR and SDR, and I'll explain the differences between the technology by going scene by scene in both modes. As you'll be able to see, they do trade blows, and that's the key word here, real-world scenes. From the pixel layout to the peak brightness impact. Before you make that decision on which OLED technology to buy, I really hope this video helps you and makes the process much easier. Welcome to Display Reality, showcasing display technology to help you make that awesome buying decision. Let's get right into it. I will have various arrows and some text on screen as if I'm talking on a specific subject. You don't miss what I'm trying to point out. So on the left, we have the 27GS95QE w-oled 1440p to 40Hz gaming monitor. And on the right, we have the MSI MPG 271QRX QD OLED 27-inch 360Hz monitor. And today we're talking about that brightness impact, that color volume, the overall image quality for your PC and next generation gaming. And just to note, the MSI MPG and MAG series of QD OLED technology is exactly the same. I do have a video covering both monitors side by side. The card will be up here in the right corner. I also have another video showcasing that HDR technology on both monitors. They are exactly the same. If it was up to me, I'd get the MPG, just because it has native firmware support and some cool features that the MAG doesn't have. But all these monitors can be had at amazing prices. One or the other may fit your style better. Here with the monitor menu, just showcasing, we're going to start off with HDR performance first. While W-OLED has 98.5% of the DCI-P3 color coverage, QD OLED has 99%, but numbers aren't everything, and the native quality of QD OLED, built-in technology, has a higher color volume. The color brightness is almost twice as bright, so on the same scene, when you see color, QD OLED will always look brighter. Sure, you can help W-OLED, let's just say in the NVIDIA control panel, or if you want to hide the saturation, but the actual panel quality, the limits, QD OLED will always win. And just to show there's no cheating here, I'm showing the 27GS95QE's menu. I'm trying to get the brightest picture possible, and that's why this is a versus video. And we're covering the brightness color impact, the overall image quality, real world scenes that you're going to be seeing time and time again on your PC from browsing, media content, and gaming. Links will be in the description of both monitors, plus their settings used in this test. But I am maxing out everything, showcasing true power. Now QD OLED delivers higher color volume with less aggressive ABL, and I've been able to see that in a variety of content. Other more inferior monitors, like the GR version of the GS, fail, meaning you're going to see more aggressive ABL in those prior models, the ones without MLA Plus technology. As you can see, to give you a real-world scenario, I do have some ambient light going around, but I set it on a low white. W-OLED will give you perfect blacks, with I would say low ambient lighting, to a pitch black room. The anti-reflective coating here, which I would say is a semi-matte screen, a little bit hazy. And while yes, the QD OLED on the right does look clearer when you put them side by side, I don't think you're going to have an issue if you just have a W-OLED. Some people are really picky or prone to seeing, I would say, that pearl sheen semi-matte look. You got to really test it out for yourself to see if you can handle it. I personally have no issues, but everyone is different. But does a W-OLED matte screen destroy the picture? Of course not. You would easily be able to see it in any video. And if you gotta show the differences with a microscope or putting your face on screen, that's just not real world. But because QD OLED lacks a polarizer, the purple haze with ambient lighting or full lighting will show itself. Again, it's a person-to-person issue. That purple haze may annoy many, but it's kept to a minimum with low ambient lighting or eliminated in a pitch black room. I would say if you're gonna put this in a living room with a lot of ambient light, W-OLED is the best way to go. Everything else is QD OLED. Now W-OLED wins with peak highs in a 1 to 5% white window or white high flashes. For example, night explosions, say in Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter Alpha 3, when you punch someone, that little white area around the face lights up or the whole screen flashes. W-OLED in a 1 to 5% window does look brighter, gives you much more impact in a night scene in Gran Turismo 7. On the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro, the cockpit looks really immersive, really impactful on W-OLED, while it blends in nicely on QD OLED. W-OLED wins with peak highs. But I would say the overall image quality, that impact, the color brightness, the funness of a monitor, a future-proofed monitor that you won't need to upgrade for at least 3 to 5 years goes to QD OLED. As I believe sometimes with WOLED, again, if you're a picky person, you may seem that the color may leave you wanting a bit more. The overall brightness is kinda lacking when you see these side by side. Here with the girl in the car, yes, the moon does look brighter and the scene looks more colorful on QD OLED, but this is a close scene, and that's the difference with color. The color volume is much higher on QD OLED. So here with the pixel layout, with WOLED technology, we're dealing with the RWBG pixel layout, while on QD OLED, we're dealing with a triangular RGB layout. As seen on screen, this is just how these two technologies are running. In the future, both panel technologies will improve. They will get brighter, they will get more colorful. So just keep that in mind. Technology is ever evolving. It won't be left behind, and there will be always something new and better in the near future. But what does that pixel layout mean? That color volume on QD OLED cannot be denied. You can easily see it in every single image. It just looks more 3D-ish, more deep. In this scene, things look really close. There's not that much color going on. I would say this is a very close tie. It's not like QD OLED will always destroy WOLED. That's not the case. In many scenes, WOLED looks more impactful. And before we get into SDR, here with the Spaceman, everything just looks alive with QD OLED. And the QD OLEDs that I've tested, the best monitors are the MSI MPG or MAG version, which can be had at affordable prices. That's crazy. And the Asus XG27 ACDNG. Those are the best QD OLED monitors on the market today. Very affordable. It gives you everything you'll ever need. While on the WOLED front, yes, the LG 27GS95QE is awesome. It has a remote control, and the equivalent would be the Asus DMG, which is a tad brighter than this LG. This all could be had for around $550 to $699 for all the monitors I just said. The real next step up would be either a 32-inch monitor in QD OLED or a Sony, Asus, or LG 480Hz WOLED gaming monitor, because those monitors are brighter. They do cost more, but from what you're seeing here, those would be the next step up if you want even more impact. Now showcasing here SDR mode. I am going to show you the monitor menu on the left on the LG. Again, to show you that no one is cheating here. I'm trying to get the max out of both monitors. From Gamer 1 to Gamer 2 to all the options on the LG. I'm showing you here, this is the brightest I can get it in SDR mode. Now in this mode, the LG technically is brighter. It can go higher, 350 to 400 nits in small windows, while the MSI on the right is stuck at around 260 nits. What I'm saying here is that technically, what we're about to see, the LG should win in every single scene, because at a minimum, I would say 50 to 75% of the scene, white window, the LG will be about 100 nits brighter. On average, when there's a lot of white on scene, they do fall around to 60 to 70 nits. The LG technically in SDR mode will always be brighter than the MSI MPG or MAG, and that's why I'm showing you the menu, to show you I'm trying to get the brightest image possible from the LG. Time and time again, the QD OLED on the right, because of that color volume, that native technology that the panel brings, for whatever reason, even though the LG can get brighter, technically on paper, it does not look so in real world. With this car, it does look even, but the color volume, those highlights, the tires, that purple looks more vibrant, more deep on QD OLED. Look at the clock. This should look brighter on WOLED, but it looks better on QD OLED. If anything, that green visualizer does look brighter on WOLED. Here with Ghost Rider, things look about even, and this is kind of weird, but yes, WOLED does look brighter. I wouldn't say the MSI looks more impactful. I would just say this is equal. And here with the neon signs, this is a win for WOLED. Look at all the neon signs. Everything looks more vibrant. Again, because there's less pixels lit up. This is a darker scene. That's when WOLED wins. The smaller the window, the brighter the highlights. But this is more like a 25% lit up screen, 10-25% I would say, not the 1 to 5. But this is what you're gonna see in a variety of content, from web browsing, media viewing, gaming, pictures, even Spotify, everything with smaller medium-sized logos. Sometimes WOLED will look more impactful, more funner, more deeper. But usually the majority of the time, the win will always go to the QD OLED technology. I will have many more videos just like this one coming up in the very near future to help you with other monitors like the 32-inch Samsung G80 SD, QD OLED versus the LG 32GS95QE WOLED, Mini LED versus QD OLED. You get what I'm saying. So please hit that like button, friends, so more people can see this video to help them know what's out there. I buy all my monitors to help you make that awesome buying decision. I make these videos so you can see numbers don't tell the whole story. And with real-world scenes, that's really the best way to see if a certain monitor is for you. All in all, from w-oled to QD OLED technology, I would always want to play, I would prefer QD OLED, though currently I am in love with the Asus PG27AQD Peak. That is my current favorite OLED monitor on the market right now. It's the brightest, most full-featured, in SDR and HDR monitor I have ever tested. I do have a first impressions if you want to check out in the playlist, but that monitor has blown me away. And yes, I would prefer that one over the 27GS95QE, but that's way more expensive. Here with the 27GS93QE or 95QE, 93 being with no hexagon RGB backing, and it's even cheaper, these monitors come with a remote, which makes it very handy. And the GS version is way better than the GR version of last year. So please don't make that mistake. Do not buy the GR version. Get the GS. It's way brighter, up to 100 nits in certain modes. It's very drastic. Don't pay less for the GR. Stick with the GS and you will be set. But if you want to future-proof yourself, for I would say another 3 to 5 years, the QD OLED technology, plus it's 360 Hz, right? I mean, 240 on the left, 360 on the right. Yes, it's hard to tell sometimes, or unless you have a GPU that can handle it. But if you're going to be doing it for other things, like movies or gaming, that color volume and those hertz will go a long way. So friends, if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you want to see more videos just like this one. From breaking news, gameplay videos, reviews and previews, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, friends. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys next time.